here. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate all of you. Om Adyaye Namaha. Thank you so much for liking, subscribing. It really helps me out. Don't forget to check out my website, paradoxastrology.com. Book your consultation today. I can help you with anything. And if you would like more exclusive occult videos that I don't post on YouTube, consider subscribing to my Patreon. It also helps to support this channel. Okay, let's get into this video about the month of February. So February starts off with Venus conjunct Rahu in Pisces. So I made an entire video about this where I break it down in vast detail, but I'll just summarize it quickly. There's going to be themes of the skies and oceans, crashes and accidents. This is why we're seeing so many plane crashes right now, because Rahu is in Uttara Bhadrapada, but now Venus is going to go there. And then we also have Saturn and Purva Bhadrapada. So this is what's causing these kind of crashes. But we can also see toxic spills in the oceans or water supplies, major weather disasters involving water or snow. This can make people gravitate towards more spirituality, yoga, especially because this is the yoga nakshatra. And this can create breakthroughs in spiritual practice. Unexpected monetary gains can come. It can make some overly materialistic, wanting everything on the material plane. So try not to overspend at this time. And I'll explain in a bit why. Obsession can occur in love matters. Stalkers, be careful of this. I'll just tell you an example. I have Venus in this nakshatra at Uttara Bhadrapada. And as soon as Rahu came in here and was close to my Venus, I had someone stalking me and like emailing me nonstop to help them win the lottery. And then their emails slowly got more and more angry because I wouldn't help them remote view the lottery. So that's just one example of what can happen. Now, heightened beauty can happen. Spiritual and artistic abilities can heighten, and opportunities to showcase these. Foreign love interest can occur. And also, I could see this making items more expensive. Now, from January 31st until February 5th is going to be in the pada of Leo. So this will have themes to do with children, creativity, learning, mantra sadhana, the mentality of leaders, leadership, the throne. There can be conflicts with authority figures and leaders or bosses, boss-like figures. Some can be very pompous at this time. And then from February 5th until February 10th is going to be in the pada, which is ruled by Virgo. And then we can see themes of health matters, daily routines, work. And this could be amplifying beauty in a routine as well. But the negative karmas that can come are themes of adultery, cheating, and extramarital affairs can happen. Health issues can pop up. And then February 10th to February 16th, it will be in the third pada, which is Libra. So it's all about relationships, marriages, society, the law. And this is when we'll have Valentine's Day. So the one thing is not to neglect your duties due to desire and not to go outside of your relationship, because these are the karmic stories which relate to this pada. And I go into detail in my previous video about it on this channel. And then from February 16th, for the rest of the month, it'll be in the fourth pada in Scorpio. So this is about the occult, deep traumas, inheritances, shared resources, money we can get but didn't earn, insurance and taxes. Now, in this one, there is a possibility of gaining huge amounts of money out of nowhere, depending on your chart, but for a lot of people. And then on February 4th, we have Jupiter is going to be stationing direct. And then so now it's been retrograde since October 9th, 2024. So this was a long retrograde. So wherever Sagittarius, Pisces are in your chart and where your Jupiter is, there could have been a lot of themes of you reviewing things. But now we can finally move forward. And this will amplify Venus as well, because there's a Parivatan Yoga, which is a mutual exchange between Venus and Jupiter at this time. And so it will amplify both of them. It's almost like having Venus in Taurus and having Jupiter in Sagittarius, the power of it. It's going to station direct at 17 degrees. So that is really good if that is aspecting any of your planets. So you can check out if it's aspecting it in Virgo, if you have any planets at 17 degrees, or you have any planets in Capricorn 17 degrees, this can be very beneficial for you, or within 3 degrees of 17 degrees. what you do have to just be cautious of, the karma that comes with this. So there's always good things, there's positive things, and there's negative things. So I'd rather warn you about certain things, and this could show up in the world. Now, the negative karma is someone having a large family and a noble character in a profession such as farming, automobile, resources, fund management that helps society gather resources like food, money, and gold, but they did not serve their in-laws or family. So it's important if someone comes to your door and asks for something that you help them without expecting anything in return. Because if we don't, the karma here, it puts us in a position to serve people without expectation and can result in, say, having a partner, for example, that falls ill and that you have to take care of them, so that you learn this lesson to help others without expecting anything in return and not turning them away. And this is just advice for any time in life. This is how karma works, but especially in this pada at this time. So there will be people that will have these themes come up in their life. So just remember that. So we'll be moving forward in the themes of trade, agriculture, farming, and this may be something new that has to do with herbal remedies and the medical field, as the moon will be in Ashwini, also with healing. Jupiter will make a trine with Mercury, and Mercury will conjunct Sun. So this will involve corporations and the government, leaders, and some kind of announcement, but there is some kind of underhanded agenda as Saturn is in Purva Bhadrapada. We must be cautious of all the plans of the government at this time, while Sun is in Capricorn and Saturn is in Purva Bhadrapada until February 12th. The changes that are being implemented are devious and two-faced. For individuals, this Jupiter will have the ability to help you move forward on anything to do with finances, prosperity, abundance. If you felt you were constantly reviewing these matters and not knowing how you should proceed, even in the matter of work or career, you will now have the clarity and more opportunities to move forward. New relationships are possible, especially with foreign people, but make sure that you don't get lost in the illusions of Rahu with Venus, because then Saturn in April 1st, Saturn will enter Pisces and it'll make you see things for what they truly are. So a lot of people are getting caught up in this illusion. You could see that in the US, like thinking this is a good idea with tariffs, or this is a good idea to cut income tax and things like that, because these things are not going to be viable in the long term. And this is what Rahu is doing to people. But guarantee you, when Saturn comes in, it's going to bring back that reality. So a lot of people are going to be spending until then, until April, and then that reality is going to hit and it's going to suppress the spending. Something is going to come and happen. So if you gain a lot of money, just remember that this isn't like a long-term thing. This is just for now, and then you might have more expenses later. So just to warn people. And then I'm going to have an entire video about the Jupiter transit after this video. So that's just a little preview. Now on February 9th, Mars will trine Saturn. And this will be exact on this day, but realistically, it will start at the beginning of the month, and it will probably create an event on the 1st when Moon conjunct Saturn. The trine is good because it gives determination and willpower, discipline to reach a goal. And this can be in learning about the occult or researching into darker topics and knowledge of deep spirituality that is hidden. Good for those involved in the music industry, like singing or using the hands. Also to do with hidden resources, taxes, etc. This nakshatra is a very cruel nakshatra, Purva Bhadrapada, where Saturn is. So many will be successful carrying out nefarious plans, and we will talk about that in a second. So on February 12th, then we have the full moon, which will be happening in Cancer. And Cancer is themes of family, home, mothers, the waters, inner comforts, inner emotions, property, intuition, spirituality. This will be in Ashlesha Nakshatra. One well-known astrologer calls this nakshatra the nakshatra of psychological warfare for survival. It's all about the mind games and clinging on to something that isn't good for us. Like a snake clings on to its prey, it eventually kills it by clinging on too tight. Now, this can be with women or mothers. There is a psychological battle at play by those outside of society. This is where we learn to hide the knowledge that we gain in Pusha Nakshatra. Because in Pusha Nakshatra, that's the guru. And the guru knew everything and was just giving out the information freely. but became arrogant because of this knowledge. So then now we must learn to hide this knowledge in Ashleisha Nakshatra. So the karma of this pada, this is 29 degrees, so this is a Gandanta point as well. It's going to be a conflict or a very grave situation that can happen. One thing that happened last time when Venus was in here a year ago, for example, to give you an example of this Gandanta point, that's when we had the fires, the Miami fires. So there's always some kind of crisis or something transformative that must happen. Now, this nakshatra, the specific of this pada, the karma, is about people who are cruel to the sea creatures, especially a tortoise, hunting of water creatures. So the native is cruel. This can be literal or this can be a metaphor for people who are cruel to others, to society by their own actions. It also shows that it's somebody in a position of power to deal with the public and has power over the public as well. But he has the free will to control their own actions. But it's someone who's harming society instead, harming the lower parts of society by using their influence and power. It's about people who can't speak up for themselves, who are getting exploited, and they are playing on the emotions of others in order to do so. This can be using religion as well against the masses, or being bigoted towards religion, opposing communities or opposing religious or spiritual communities. So you have to be very careful of deception here. And this can also have to do with mothers, women, cattle, the oceans, bodies of water, psychology, healing. A lot of these themes will pop up. Transformation in relationships around the world, business partnerships, in relations to conflict, trade, transportation, endings and secret enemies. Also the mentality of leaders, shared resources and money. The sun will be in Dhanishta Nakshatra, and this is the most wealthy and famous, having to do with the universal rhythm of life and the music industry, astrology, kundalini. So there can be some themes of the leaders or the very well-known people playing on the emotions of society. And I'll have a separate video about that as well coming up when we get closer to the date. Now, all month until February 18th, there will be themes around the use of someone else's resources without paying someone properly. This can reveal itself to be around property. That's one example. This is people thinking that they deserve something for free, using others yet justifying it, and forging of paperwork or scams revolving around crypto exchange and the stock market. So be very cautious of these things. I already have seen this play out. So recently, not very long ago, someone, because of this Mars being in this pada, which is my second house lord, tried to scam me for a reading by giving me a fake PayPal, a PayPal that just never went through. And thankfully, I never did the reading because Kali Ma told me exactly what you were doing. But this is just an example. So be careful of, say, if you're an independent contractor, be careful of people trying to scam you, trying to think they can get it for free. What they do is they send you money through PayPal, and then the PayPal comes and says that it's pending because they're checking. They know something's going on, and it takes days and days. So they're just hoping that you'll actually send the product or do the reading before. Then you're left high and dry and you never got paid. So just be careful of that. It's just one example. Now, Mercury will conjunct Rahu on February 23rd. So unexpected happenings in the trade sector, stock market, crypto, accidents while traveling as well. And also Saturn will conjunct Mercury at the end of the month as well, I think on the 28th. So this could amplify the stock market. This could amplify things. But then days later, there can be a suppression or there could be a loss in the markets. So that's something to really think about. Also, February 23rd, Mars turns direct. So what's good about this month is we have Mars is stationing direct and then Jupiter is stationed direct. So now we can move forward on 2 planets. So now things are going to start speeding up. And this is in Purnavasu in Pada 1. This nakshatra is about healing those in the weaker parts of society. Be very careful taking out loans or trusting other people with your money when it's stationing here. While Mars is just in this nakshatra period, it's going to be a little bit difficult for Mars because Mars is going to be in this, and then April 2nd is going to go back into debilitation, into Cancer. But for right now, all the problems with the stock market and crypto are happening because of malefic Mars is in this nakshatra, and Mars acts like a criminal in here. This is the resources that one has at their command, and it's also about being wealthy again. So others are scamming the less fortunate for money. Anyone who does seasonal work, who gets a day wage, workers, contractors should be very cautious. This pada is about stealing money and doing things out of anger that you may regret later. So there could be some violence. It will also be trining Saturn, which will be conjunct Mercury by sign. So I see leaders and celebrities taking advantage of the masses in trade, crypto, using cruel practices. This has the potential to be very destructive as the moon is in Mula, and many will be getting to the root of this matter. There could be also many themes around health too. But what's good about this is this will help us move forward and take actions on matters that we previously were unsure about. In the matters of learning, short-term travel can take place, running, any work involving the use of hands, writing, etc. Whatever you were reviewing that has to do with Mars, and whatever house Mars rules and whatever house your Mars is in since December 6th, you will now have clarity and drive to pursue it. And then on February 27th, we will have a new moon in Aquarius that deals with groups, alliances, the public, and this will be in Shawtee in Pada 3. This can also be engagement in illegal activities due to excess of desires in this pada. It's about healing on many different levels. This is 100 healers, 100 stars. It's the stage and leading others to help the masses. This can also involve prostitution and illegal activities, taking shortcuts in life. This can involve doctors, those in the medical fields, healing fields, civil servants, people in relationships and business partnerships, immigrants and foreign nations and lands. There's a sense of seriousness because there's Moon, Sun, and Saturn conjunction in the first house. So there's a sense of seriousness in the masses and the leaders, and this can be in the minds and the souls for individuals. There could be disputes with government leaders, father figures, and mothers. People can suddenly feel suppressed by the medical community, the war, or by their own work in general. Backlashes against those on stage, those in entertainment. A sense of being tired or overworked. Some can receive a lot of money, especially in the homelands, but that may be because they feel suppressed by the government and it is given to them. But for some, debt can be suppressed or limited, and there can be some unexpected gains from secret sources, inheritances, gambling, things you didn't necessarily work for. This nakshatra also deals with themes of the stars in the sky, the alien agenda. So that's just a little bit about what I see. I will have separate videos for all these transits. I thank you so much for watching. I appreciate all of you, and I'll see you in the next one.